Hi, I'm Jo Barclay-Logie and welcome to my first mini tutorial. I aim to do a whole load of these just to show you basic bead weaving techniques. So if you're a complete beginner, this will be the perfect place for you to start. If you're a more experienced beader, this can be a visual reference if you need a little refresher course on how to do a particular stitch. So where do we start? Today we're going to do even count peyote stitch. Peyote stitch has been around for yonks and it is probably the first stitch that most bead weavers learn, particularly the even count. You can land up doing beautiful patterns, but the way I want you to think of peyote stitch is like a brick wall. You know the way your bricks get staggered as the wall gets built? Imagine this as a wall made of beads so that you can see how they are staggered just as bricks would be. So that's where we're going to start. So flat even count is a flat stitch, so you can see you get a flat effect here. Even count, you're using an even number of beads. If I count the number of beads down the very edge here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're always going to be working in an even number. For the purpose of the demo, I'm going to use two different colours, and I'm using size 8 seed beads because they're slightly bigger and it'll be easier for you to see exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to start with a stopper bead. So a stopper bead is a bead that's not involved in my design. I'm not going to get it confused in my design when I start beading. And you pass the needle through the bead, take it down, leave yourself a tail. If you're doing a project like a full bangle or cuff bracelet, you may want to leave a 20 centimeter tail here just so that you can use this part to attach one end of your clasp when you're finished. But as we're just learning the technique here, I'm not leaving a very long tail at all. And to make it a stopper bead, I pass the needle back through the bead and pull through. Right, I'm going to use two colours to make it a little bit easier for you to see. If you've never tried this stitch before, hopefully you'll think it's pretty easy after this. An even number of beads, so I'm going to pick up 6 of the silver ones to begin with. That's 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to let them drop down to my stopper bead. So my stopper bead is closest to me and my working thread is away from me. I'm going to turn the corner and bead back towards myself using the other colour. So I'm going to pick up a bead, I'm going to ignore that last one that I added on there, so I'm skipping over it, and I'm going to go through the very next one, just like that. Pull your needle through. And you'll see that the turquoise one is sitting alongside the silver one at the top there. So I'm ready to pick up another bead, one at a time, skip over the next silver bead and go through the next one. And you can see how these are forming. You've got 2 and then 1 and then 2 alongside each other. My thread is coming out of the next one. I'm going to pick up a bead. I'm going to skip over the next one and go through that last one. I'm not going through the stopper bead though, just through that last silver bead. Pull your thread through and you'll see now you've very definitely got, it's a great technical term, sticky outy beads. Those turquoise ones are sticking out in the direction that I'm going to be beading in. So I'm now going to turn, because my thread is exiting from this silver one at the end here, I'm going to turn and bead away from myself. I'm going to still pick up the turquoise beads because I want a solid row of turquoise now. So I'm going to pick up one, I skip over that first silver one as I turn the corner. It's a lot easier now because I'm going to be going through all the sticky outy ones, straight up through that turquoise. Pull your thread in. And you can see now how you're filling in the gaps. Pick up a bead, skip over the silver bead and go through the sticky outy turquoise bead. Pick up a bead, skip over the silver and go through that last sticky outy turquoise bead. You've now completed another row, and you can see you've got those 2 rows of silver and you've got 2 rows of turquoise. We're going to turn the corner and bead back towards yourself, this time picking up the silvers. So pick up a silver, skip over the very first turquoise at the top and go through the one that's sticking out. My thread's just come a bit loose there, so I'm just going to pull it into place and pull that bead back down again. Get the tail out the way. So pick up a silver bead, skip over the turquoise and go through the turquoise bead that's sticking out. And pick up another silver bead and you're going straight through the sticky outie. So each row, when we're doing 6, you're actually only picking up 3 for each row, so you've completed half, and we're going to turn and fill in the gaps with silver again. So pick up 1 bead, skip over a bead and go through a bead, and that will become your little mantra for flat even count peyote. Pick up a bead, skip a bead, go through a bead. Pick up a bead, skip a bead, go through a bead. And you're ready to turn and bead back in the direction towards yourself, and I'm changing colors again, so I'm picking up a bead, and it's as simple as that. You've got those sticky outy beads facing you. They're really easy to see, and you will just continue doing your peyote stitch in this exact way. So I'm coming all the way down to the bottom, and remember, you can make this as wide as you want or as narrow as you want, as long as you're using an even number, and it makes a really lovely pattern or design for cuffs, and you can embellish them. I'm going to show you a piece in a minute where I've used 2 strips of plain peyote just like this to join some Swarovski crystals together. So you can, this looks quite simple, but you can start to use something simple in something a little more intricate. So that's exactly how you would continue with your peyote stitch. Now I promised to show you one a little different. So this here, I've got 2 strips of normal flat even count peyote stitch with 4 beads, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 beads wide, and I've used them, well, I've linked them together with Swarovski crystals. So I hope that's made it clear. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye.